Moonlight to all. We're going to have a quick Bible study time plus a twist. And what inspired me was being and realizing and reflecting and me. So being built up and realizing it, becoming the version that you would always dream to be, you're seeing. And so I want to know even more, put a little twist on it, a little bonus with scripture. To find scriptures that speak about the things that are happening, the growth, the spirit, the sharpening, the brilliance, and how Alizé is becoming. So let me grab the Bible. So this Bible I have is the King James Version, which is fine. It's not that serious. It has what it has in it, and so let's see. But I'm going to also use the web so that we can easily find the scripture. And pretty much it's surrounding spiritual growth, because that's apparent in my life. I've become, and I can't even stop there. It's not even that I've become, it's I'm me. I'm still me. And that's a powerful thing. It's very powerful because I've been able to remain who I am. And that's all I ever wanted to be, as you can see. That's all I ever needed. It's bittersweet because how such of a darling I think of myself. It's such treasure to me to have me in my life. To have me, to have known me. And I speak to myself as like the third person, the first, second, and third. I speak with just admiration and proudness, all those things. And that's part of the spiritual thing. It's like that's all you'd ever want to feel about yourself, but so sincere that it's evident why I feel that way. I allow people to see me and hear me. Maybe they can see, maybe they don't see it, but I've always been this way. Whether the world loved me or not, whether people were able to know me or not, And I didn't understand, what could be so wrong with me. But now I really, really do see why, I'm the issue. Why I would be such a threat, or why I'd be such hated, or why I wouldn't be chosen. in the world, but then also why I would be chosen and why I would be loved and admired. It's like I get it even more. Because when you're young, it's not that you think of yourself highly. You just know that you're trying to do the right thing, or at least you're doing the right thing and you're wrong for it. And so you know that you're not the issue, but you are. But I see now my full brilliance, and I'm still growing, obviously, but I see where it's reached its peak in a way where it's like, yes, Father, you can come now. Your daughter has understood. Your daughter has understanding. I see, Father. It has been done to me. I've gone through the fire. I've gone through my tribulation for the most part, right? Because there's always going to be something, some sort of trial, right? In every world, someone trying you. But, for me to be filled with this knowledge and wisdom, this sacred ancestral prophecy, to be fulfilling it is the peak. And now I kind of just reflect on it and I use humor with it. And, what more? What more is there? And that's where it's like, okay, focusing more on my physical. I've done my spiritual. I know who I am. It's a line where it's like now it's so steady where it'll grow without me having to tend to it. Now it's like focus on your physical, focus on the outside, because that's the next thing. It's what my heart desires, what's going to come into my life, what new opportunities, what sort of people, my love life, my passions, my desires, my passions. My passions are like my work, what you consider work, right? Things we do outside of soaking in such a delicacy, soaking in a bathtub. Like what else is my life consisting of, right? And so that would be my passions. And I'm sure most people would know what that is, right? And it's just on the council with my Father. And of course, we speak of justice for the most part, I laugh because people would probably consider this like the inside things, the things that, people would hold secret. Just like in this world where it's like, you can be on a council and they don't want to tell you what happens. Like, what do you guys talk about? What are you guys doing? Huh? What are you guys doing? Because I don't see nothing. I don't see no changes, and they literally probably just don't do nothing, right? And that's the reason why they don't tell you in this world. They keep it so hush hush and so secret. Like, oh, it's such a cult. It's become this sort of society, inner society thing. When it's like, y'all don't even know how to spell society. Society, or you don't even know how to spell secret. Because it's like, what is there to hold secret with what you're not doing? Like, you're not doing anything for it to even be something to be a secret. I start to realize that the truth is not ever supposed to be a secret. As royal as I am, dang, I just blurted that out just easily. I honestly, my mind wasn't trying to say it that way, but it came out that way. But as royal as I can be, right? Humbly speaking, as royal as anyone can be, we don't hold secrets. Like, if you're royal, you're comfortable. Let me just speak for me, right? And clearly you can tell what goes on in my kingdom, right? What goes on in my Father's house, how we are, our energy, our vibe, the way we do things. We're not secretive. We're more like, here, you can have it. Common sense. Honestly, it's common sense, because why would I be stingy with something that is free? meaning I can go get more. Like, you know what I mean? And yes, it's sort of a mentality, a lower vibration mentality when you are stingy, because initially that's what it is. But that's where that door opens. Why would the rich and powerful have that mentality? Mm. And why would someone that's poor with nothing have such this sort of mentality? Mm. Because it's what's inside of them to figure out who is royalty. Listen, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. So while people may think that I'm nobody, long behold, I am the princess, right? I have to say it that way because in the storyline, that's what it would be called, right? That's what I would be considered, the princess. And my father, the king. That's the prophecy. And we know the storyline with the princess. We know the storyline with the king. We know the storyline with the prince. We know that story. So, again, in my own version, with the same message, it opens that door that was locked, because now you see why the rich and powerful have this energy, this vibe, this secrecy, this stinginess, when they have what is the word? Infinite possibilities, connections, chances, time. They have infinite time because they don't have to do what we have to do down here, right? Least the ones that are least, we don't have that much time, because our time is not our time. They have all their time. They're free, supposedly, right? In the system. They're not free under God, because they, okay? We are the true free ones, but you get it, okay? Let's not confuse anybody. Because they may not be maturely mature yet. So basic sense from what you can see is that we're not free, they're free. Okay, well, they have all the time then, because they don't have to work for nobody. They're the ones creating this money. They're the ones printing it out. You see what I mean? They're the ones that still eat from the tree, while everyone has to eat lab-grown meat. They don't feed their kids those things. They don't feed themselves the same stuff, right? Just like they're inventing these sort of cancer-causing or technology. And then you're surprised when they say, well, my kids don't use this sort of technology that I create, right? They created it, but they don't use it. Their kids don't use it. Okay. They have all of this access. But for some reason, the most rich people in this world are the most stingiest. Let me put the book down, because I thought I was going to script scripture, but seems to be not that way. I want that to soak. I want to soak that, okay? I use that depiction now because it's real. It's true. I can use context, but I didn't have to use context, because I can just speak about me. I can just speak about who I am, what sort of truth is in me, what the truth makes me feel like, what I choose to do with it, what my father is like, what he chooses to do with it. And then I context it and I say, well, guys, I'm just plain old Jane. Well, let me just say plain old Alize, right? Her name's not Jane. But it's a cute name. It's a cute name, Jane. Plain old Alize, right? I don't have anything fancy. I don't have high credentials. I don't have high status, right? Things that would be respected in the world. Like the more you have, the more you're respected. The more it seems people owe things to you, like entitlement. I'm just plain old Alize. It's fine. But truth be told, I do hold such knowledge, right? And that's why we're talking about it. That I do hold something, and it doesn't make me stingy. It's not a secret. But I think what it is that I'm in a world where what I hold is so sacred. It's viewed as a treasure. It's viewed as rare. And it's very rare where only a few select elite, as you would call it, high principalities, they hold such knowledge. Because to have such knowledge is to be free, is to now rebel, is to now see. And that in the system, that is the whole destruction of the construct, right? Like the destruction of them, the destruction of what they created. And that's a no-no. Do you see that? So yes, it has become this rarity and it's become this secret, but don't be surprised why I say, hey guys, I want you to know this. And someone says, you hold such power. Why do you want to yield it? And it's like, I don't view it that way because it wasn't something to be kept. That shows my intent. What intent is it to keep? Like, what does that show if I'm to keep such sacred knowledge? Or before it was sacred, just truth. What people need to know. What is going on behind the scene? What is going on in front of your face that clearly you're not, taken seriously? And that goes into other things because it's like you don't care anymore. It's like I can tell you all of this, but it won't change anything in the physical. It won't change what you choose to do, what you choose to say. Like, if I say, let's all speak, we got to work together. Physically, we do, not spiritually. David, spiritually, I could be on this mountain all day by myself and God gonna come because of his elect daughter, right? But physically, if we really wanted things to change right now, like control it. If we wanted to control it, we would have to control it. We would have to do the work together. But since I'm only one person, I need God, right? I need God because I can't rely on you. I can't rely on us. I can't rely on the people to help me, to stand, to walk with me. So I say, God, please come, hear your daughter, for the sake of me, come, Father. For the sake of me, my testimony, let it be enough. Let it be all. I call on him. And that opens up those doors. But I don't want to go into certain doors. Not in this sort of story. Again, it's just to say, maybe you'll learn something from me, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll listen, maybe you won't. But I'm still going to say what I have to say. And I know that I have to share the truth. And that is to make people see that there's another way. that we're not all the same. That there is actual justice. Truth still lives. And my Father is alive. And though you haven't seen him and heard his voice, he's in me. He's the best of me. And so when I'm able to be, I see it. When I'm not able to be, I am low vibrational. I am not myself. Right? It's like I'm giving in or giving up or being what the world always wanted without willingly trying to be. But things piss you off, you know? You're frustrated, you're angry, you're tired, you're sick. You're not the best. You know, all you see now is the anger. All you see now is the attitude. Yeah, it sucks. I'm sorry. But I'm a real person. I'm still human. Yes, I'm my Father's daughter. But I am still me. And I'm still living in a world where I have to survive. I still have to try. I still have to stand even if I'm scared, even if I'm hated. Because again, that's another thing. I'm maybe my Father's daughter, but I'm hated in this world. And I have no choice but to be among my adversary. So what did you expect me to be like? What did you expect me to feel like? Why are you holding me to this crazy standard? Because now you know who I am? Because now I announce it? Or is it that you actually believe it? And even if you do believe it, and even if I do announce it, why still expect such crazy standards? We're just of soul. It's like you've made this own rule book for it. Like if you are God, if you're because everyone says they're children of God. So it's like if you're actually God's daughter, then jump off this bridge. You see that? Sounds like Satan, doesn't it? I hear you, Father. Preach, you made this rule. It's like if you are actually God's daughter, then you should never be angry. You see that? It's almost like you're saying it without having to say it. But you do say it because you're just like, they're waiting for you to mess up, right? They'll wait. And it's just like, I don't think. I know that I'm like the perfect candidate for it because I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel, and I don't give a dang. And you're going to have no choice but to see that all the things that you thought was godly, all the things that you feel is what makes a person so perfect. Like, oh, this is the perfect example of something that's godly. I'm going to mess up all up. I'm going to tear it all down because I'm actually his daughter and he actually loves me. He's chosen. Well, I can't even say he's chosen me because I've always been him. Like, now it's become very cheesy where it's like someone says, oh, God's chosen you. And it's like, nah, my Father did not. I mean, I can say that to make sense of what people understand. But truth be told, like, he didn't have to choose me. It's more of me choosing, right? It's more of me choosing. I've always been his. I'm just now like, mature enough. I was a kid then, right? But I've always knew something. But now I'm coming to this clarity of who I am again, right? Just like in every world. In this world, I had to become a baby and grow up, right? So it's just like, I'm back, Father. Like I knew it since I was little, but it's like, okay, I'm here. I've come into this world without knowing anything, but still know everything. But truly being able to master it, like I can master these things. I bear witness to it. It's just it's spiritual, It's very spiritual. Um. So yeah, it's like this is how people are, and I've talked about this where they will. What was I gonna say? Just that they will hate you. They'll hate you if they find out who you are. If they actually found out you were actually who you say you are. Um, yeah, that's another thing. So there's the prophecy. A lot of things are hidden. And then you find in prophecy that people that found out who they were threatened. So either way, it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice to, be exposed, and it's a sacrifice to be hidden, because you're neither safe. Like tribulation will come to both. They're both heavy cups to swallow, to carry. Because being hidden is just what you think it is. Being misunderstood, being hidden, being something that you're not, because it's not up to you, right? You didn't hide yourself. And so, however he miraculously did it, he did it to where it's like maybe you no longer see that version of who you used to be. People don't get to see that version of who you are. And how do you think that weighs on your spirit? Especially when you don't remember because you're young, right? We have to come into this world to understand these people. So I'm just knowing what I'm supposed to know as a human being, that this is the family that he put me in. And I start to realize God and start to understand who I am through not being one of them, right? By them not treating me like one of them, to only find myself realizing this is who I've always been. I've always been my father's daughter. I've always been me, right? And he wanted me to see that. So it's really me realizing who I am in the world to him, in a world where I have no more comprehension. I have no comprehension of him anymore. I have no reminding, I have no comprehension, right, of things before. So now I do. Now I understand. So it's like I'm back. I'm back to like who I was before this time. Because before this time, I wasn't who I was. Before this world, I was with my father. And I was like, okay, we're going to do the dang thing. We're going to come into the world. We're going to understand these people. We're going to speak for the people. We're going to try our best. We're going to do this. All the things that I've amounted to be, like all the things I've become. I become everything. I become the spokesperson. I've gone through the fire. I've been at the bottom of the barrel. I know how it feels to be the black sheep. I am it in the world, right? And I also am a woman. I'm also Black, African American. I don't have a lot of things. It's just like I've been the embodiment of it. There's nothing anyone can tell me And that's where I'm at, where it's that peak. I'm like, I know, Father. I know. And that's it. You see, it's nothing that I have to say out loud. I give people the chance to get to know me. And then also, for record, for me, while I'm still here in this world, I get to come back to these little stories that I record. But it's just that intimateness that I know, Father. I know. And look at, there's nothing that shows on the surface. I don't see his face. I don't hear his voice. It's in me. And it's always been in me. I've always seen him, but I've always seen me. But I am, you know, me and him, we're one. So it's like, I get it. Whatever the scriptures in this holy Bible speak about, it's to the T. It's right. It's right as it should be. Ain't nothing different. Like, nothing is changed. Everything that it says happened. Everything that it says, I come to understand. I'm in you, you in me. And it's like, I get it. He says, you're going to know by, what's inside. I know, Father. Because I don't see your face. I wish I could, right? I'm waiting for that day, face to face, right? I would hope to, like, touch your skin and be in your arms, but it doesn't take that. It doesn't take that. I've become exactly who I should be and who I always was meant to be. And that is it. Everything else is a bonus. Me having money, me going to school, getting a degree, me getting a husband, having kids. You see, all that can wait. Like, that's great things too. But I need to remember who I am. He says, if you forget you, you forget me. And I said, oh, how could I forget who I am? That's soul breaking. That'll break your soul. Because it's like, how could I forget who I am? How could I get so lost in the world that I lose my identity? That day would be dark. Okay? That day would be dark. We know. Listen. The day's already because of souls losing themselves. A lost world. It's already dark because so many fallen angels, right? So many light bearers that turn dark. That's a dark world. That's a dark world. So yeah, I put little glitter on it, and I say, if I lost my identity, I'm on this mountain alone, right? I'm bearing this alone, right? So if I didn't come back on this mountain, yeah, we be looking forward to getting old here. We be looking forward to getting brittle, and the next generation having to carry this, because ain't nobody doing it. Ain't nobody else doing it. I'm talking about literally. You think 1% is enough? That's nobody, really. So yeah, nobody. I have come to know, to see who I am. And if I happen to think that the surface of me is beautiful, that's a bonus. But I have come to know who I am. How do I come to know who I am is knowing me. Getting to know me, talking with myself, being with myself. You're with yourself 24/7. You start to realize, okay, I'm a strong individual. Or you're this, or you're that. Because you start to see how you handle things. You start to realize that you are capable of certain things by your choices you make. You know, what sort of choices do I make? You know, you say, why do I use my pride with this? Or, you know, I have to walk with my integrity with this. It's like you see yourself and you start to know how you are. That's all. You know oneself. That's it. That's it. You're with yourself 24/7. But when you're not with yourself, and you're with every other person, you're always with someone. What does that tend to make you kind of flow into? Catering to the other person, thinking about their feelings, thinking about what they feel like, what they're thinking, what they're looking at. Because there's someone else there. It's just naturally that way. You have courtesy now. It's like, oh, gotta make sure I wear deodorant because someone's next to me, you know. Whereas if I was home alone, I could just be. I could just be free, naked. Okay? I talk about this. So there is a difference. There's a big difference. It's evident. You have to know oneself by being with yourself. If you're always with someone, you're going to realize it when you're no longer with that person. You're not going to know how to act. You're not going to know what to do. You're going to be like, oh my God, I've never been alone. Shut up. Shut up. You see? I've never been alone before. I don't know what to do. I'm going to end my life. What? Did you just say what I think you just said? Are you stupid? You ain't got no sense? Again, back to my point. You not know yourself? You don't know that you exist? You alone? And that you're important, you're significant, and you matter, and that you have your own life to live, and that life goes on, and that people can make their own decisions apart from you, that you're not them and they're not you. So if they don't like you no more, they don't like you no more. Who's to say that they're supposed to? Who are you? Are you Boo Boo? Are you Boo Boo the Fool? It's like, dang, like we got to bring these people to in the illiterate classes, because it's like in the spirit, they spiritually illiterate. That was a strong word right there. They spiritually illiterate. You know, spiritually, because it's like that's common sense. Again, we can understand the anger, the frustration, the sadness, that connection, the memories, reliving it, we get it. But you going to the extreme, my brother. You over here about to take somebody's life because of how you feel you don't know yourself. You don't know how to be alone. Do you know that everyone has to be alone? They have to be. Like, meaning like most of their life. Well, some probably half of their life, but for me, most of my life. Do you know, I can't even say most people, but just for this record, most people have to be alone, my guy. Like they gotta feed themselves, they gotta bathe themselves, they gotta wake themselves up, they gotta, they gotta work, make their own money, pay their own bills. They gotta sleep in their own bed, sleep alone. Do you know that? Wake up alone. Do you know that? Like, who are you to think that you're alone in this? Like, this ain't normal. Like, it ain't normal to be apart from somebody. It's normal, my guy. It's normal. It's normal. You know, and this opens up a whole new story, right? Obviously, because this is the whole thing. You know, you watch Law and Crime, and it's like, what in the world? But I think really, when you're watching those sort of things, it really shows the demon, not even more the person. Yes, the character of that person determines a lot of things, but there are demons that are just set out to destroy. Okay, and they will feed on vulnerability and things like that to gain access. But that's why you need to be, built up and sure of yourself. But we can't take away the fact that you still have to do your work. You still have to do the work for yourself, before you even get into these sort of relationships, right? Just as we all know it, right? Men don't want us to be acting all tough. Oh man, you need to start acting like, yeah, you need to start acting like you got some sense. Okay, so I got my burrito. I got my burrito from Real Tacos or something like that. Oh. I just need one bite. Burrito. Okay. Okay. That's nice. You need to start acting like you got some sense. I didn't want to say somebody like a sissy because, again, that is sissy. When you want women to not act tough, but you acting sissy. You want to end somebody's life because of what? They don't want to be with you no more? That's major. Like, that's extreme. It's like, whoa. Something ain't right there. Like, you could have done so many other things. I need to open this burrito. I gotta eat this good. Sorry. But you could have did so many other things, like blow up their phone. Like, you could have done so many things that still wasn't good, but were better than taking someone's life. So, like, release your frustration. Like, okay, you called them, wanted to talk to them really bad, want to make things work, so you kept persisting. That's not the best because, you want to leave people alone if they tell you to leave them alone. But it's better than taking someone's life, right? We can understand that. Just release it and just the more positive ways. Like the best way, like roar. Go to a mountain and scream. Like most people say, distract yourself. In a sense. Go to sleep. Write it down. Those things. But to take someone's life is more than what you think it is. Like, if you thought it was love, it wasn't just love. If it was, right? You were also jealous. You were also like envious. You didn't want this person to like live. You didn't want this person to be happy without you. There's something else there. That's not love, though. You know, here it is. There is dedication there. There's passion. And there is love. But there's also other things there. And now it comes into a selfish thing. In that fit of anger, you didn't do it out of love. You did it out of selfishness, self gain. Because if you can't have her, no one can. Yeah, you may have loved her. Very passionate. But to love, truly love someone is to let them go. Because that's the best thing to do. That is the purest love. Like when my father lets me go. Let me be, Father, let me be. Why can't you? Why can't you do it? Because again, it wasn't love at that point. It was just like hatred, really. You hate that person. You may have loved them, but in that moment of taking their life, you hate them. Because my life doesn't matter. My kids, my family, my loved ones, like, do I matter to you? Because if you take me out, I'm no longer gonna be here. Like there's no chance of us even being cordial. Like I will no longer exist. And so the person feels like, well, you don't want me, so that's never gonna happen again. And again, he hates you now because it's like you no longer can be with other people. You can no longer live. That's crazy. See what I'm saying? So I hate when they label it like passion and love, like murder. Mm-mm. It wasn't like passion and love. He hated me. It turned from love to hate real quick. And deep down, there was always some envy. Because, and here's the thing. For me, I would like to say that is why you need to be with your soulmate, not people that have dependency issues and got issues. You need to make sure this person is for you. And I know that's hard because, oh gosh, it's falling apart. It's hard because you're in a world where you can choose to be with whoever you want to be with and things like that. You kind of take control. And this world is not a world where you get soulmates. You know, it's not like a world of like matchmaking harmony. So you're getting all this crime and murder and rage and envy. Whether the person have kids or not, like they don't care. If you're with your soulmate, things would just be better in all aspects because your soulmate doesn't have to be jealous. They would never be envious. They admire you. They see you as an equal. And they know you. They know that they ain't nobody like you, just like they know there's no one like them. There's nothing, there's no one that can compete. There's no one that can compare. There's no reason to be jealous. Because let's say you did step out, you're going to only be a fool because you're going to step out on someone lower. Someone that ain't a warrior. Someone that's not going to take care of you. Someone that's a hobo. That's on you. He's not gonna hurt me for that. You're gonna hurt yourself. He's gonna know that you were gonna do the hurting. He don't have to do nothing to you. She don't have to do nothing to you. You're gonna feel it regardless. Okay? But that's only most likely if you're with someone that truly is worthy of you. Truly is your equal. That's it. And of course, what are the chances that you will even meet your equal? When are the chances that you ever find your soulmate in this lifetime? Right. Exactly. That's why there is loveless marriages. There is people in relationships that have kids that never even known each other before that, didn't even know their last name, that had children. Like, there's so many different scenarios where that's why people end up settling. That's why. For the love of money, for the love of security, for the love of comfort. That's why. So don't be surprised when, he kick you out or she kick you out and they don't care. Or they could hurt you and they don't care. They don't have shame. Because they never cared. It was never nothing solid. They never actually loved you. It was all a delusion. It was like they thought they did. Or they grew to love you because of the finances, because of the situation, because of something that's not like tangible, Mm-mm. 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 Don't be surprised. I told my brother this. I said, don't be surprised with the dealings that come with this world when you are trying to indulge into the things that most people and all people should be able to, relationships. Don't be surprised about the things that come from it, right? The sort of fleshly things, sin, jealousy, rage. Don't be surprised if they're not loyal to you. Hope they are, but don't be surprised. Because this world is sort of dark, the spirits, the influence. It's easy to do bad than it is to do good. It's easy to step out of your relationships than it is to stay in, unfortunately. And you see more of that. More people, advocating for it. Like, polyamorous or something like that. I don't know. Like, people talking about these things, like having open relationships and 2, 3, 4, 5 people. So it's easy. It's easy to hurt someone. Yeah. It's all twisted. It's all dark. But this is the world you're in, and you have to be prepared when you're doing and dealing with it. Like if you're just dealing with yourself, keep it simple, keep it easy peasy. But once you open up your doors to relationships, don't be surprised, because you're dealing with people that you don't know. You don't know. You don't know how strong they are. You don't know how their mind is. You don't know how their spirit is. You don't know how they really feel about you. You don't know their morals. You don't know anything. You don't know how they grew up. You don't know what they aspire to be. You don't know what they expect from a relationship. You don't know what they really want. You don't even know if they really like you, even though they're with you, even though they're sleeping next to you. You don't even know if this person even love you. You know why? Because there's people that are sitting next to someone, sleeping next to someone, eating with someone, showering with someone, driving someone around, shopping together, having kids, getting married, and there's no love there. Maybe one person is in it, but the other one isn't. Sad to say, but it's the truth, isn't it? And you just don't want it to be you. Mm-mm. Rebuke. But it happens though. It's not about, oh, I'm all of this and I'm cute and I'm this and it never happened to me. No, it's gonna happen to anybody. It ain't about you. That's what I'm saying. You might be cute. You might got it going on. It ain't about you. Don't take it hard. Don't take it deep, please. Please. If these are demons, that's what they were set out to do, to fool you. Do you understand me? To humble you, to make you feel less than. And that is what I'm saying. And I'll leave it there.